I look how that result feels, Geordies. Worn down, frustrated. I can't believe twice, throwing away the lead twice. That is a soul-destroying 2-2 draw at St James's tonight. And predominantly, for the most part of the game, I felt like we were the better team. And we just didn't capitalise and the chances didn't come our way and it just wasn't to be. I felt like it wasn't to be from kick-off, to be fair. But opening half an hour, I thought we were the better team, by far the better team. Link-up play was good. We were finding the spaces. Harvey Barnes, Jacob Murphy, getting in the right areas. The link-up play looked really good. I felt Sandro Tonali, Miley and Joel Linton in the midfield, it felt a little bit disjointed in the first half. Didn't quite have the click that the Everton game did. But I thought the young boys, Lewis Hall and Tino Livramento, fantastic tonight. You know, once again, Lewis Hall, he just looks class. Every time he looks class. The commentators saying, or Jamie Carragher saying, every time Kudus faces him up. I thought Lewis Hall had Mohamed Kudus on toast tonight, honestly. I thought every time Kudus gets the ball with his back to him, he couldn't really get anything. Hall was in there, stealing it off him. We were, in the final third, pressing, winning balls back, making chances. And there just wasn't that little spark, that little creative something that Bruno offers us in the midfield. But when they said, every time Kudus faces him up, he's causing him problems. Kudus got probably twice he got past Lewis Hall. And one of those is the goal. But it's a really, really disappointing bitter pill to swallow tonight. And I feel like I feel disappointed for Eddie. Because I feel like that was the team we should have put out. I feel like he's done the right things and put out the right players to be able to win this game. And we've created the chances and then just not managed to get it over the line. And we have to go back 2 years, back to the dark arts of being able to see a game out. You have to be able to take 9 minutes of injury time and say, right, we're just going to see this out for what it is. But going through it, where to start? First half ends, Bruno comes on. We start to look more creative. And then, I'll be honest with you, I'm calling for the changes. Anthony Gordon and Anthony Elanga. And when they come on, Gordon, he just offers us that pace down the side. I think Gordon's been almost terrible outside of the Champions League and the Premier League start of this year. But to come on tonight and get an assist, or as good as an assist, lay it off to Nicky Valtamada, touchback, and Bruno, what a finish, Bruno. Absolutely class tonight. And you could see the passion. The way he goes over and hugs the young lad in the stands, absolute fucking legend, honestly. This guy is, he's a Geordie through and through. But then to throw that away, and I felt like it's almost a bloody carbon copy of the goal in Marseille, where Dan Burn lets a player get across the front of him. His positioning was off in the last game. I felt he wasn't tip-top in the last game. And I know he made a handful of headers that are really important. But the basics of staying goal side and getting in front of your man, and Romero just drifts across him, and it's just such an open header from like 4 yards out. I really feel for Aaron Ramsdale because I didn't feel he did too bad tonight. And then you're sat in that position of, we're throwing it away again. And then Dan Burn gets brought down in the penalty area by Bentancur. And I'll be quite honest, when I watched it, I felt like it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. The only thing that sold it to me is that Bentancur's not even looking at the ball. You know, he shapes up for that corner and he's got both arms down round Dan Burn. But I did feel we were lucky with it. I felt Dan Burn made a meal of it. He is trying to get into the right space, and obviously Bentancur's kind of folded up underneath him. But I'd go with the fact that, look at the size and strength for Dan Burn. You know, what can he do? But when the referee points to the penalty spot, I'm like, reprieve, finally. You know, we don't deserve to lose tonight. They've offered fuck all going forward, Tottenham. And, you know, this is kind of how the game should play out for the chances we've had that we haven't taken. Anthony Gordon steps up, which I thought was it's a big penalty to take considering he hasn't scored a goal in the Premier League since January. And he slots it away, and I think fair play to you. So you've come on, you've made the impact, you've managed to be part and be involved in the first goal, you've stepped up, taken the responsibility, took the penalty, great finish as well, sent the keeper the wrong way. See it out. We're on the home straight now. 5 minutes to go plus injury time. And then, sure enough, Christian Romero scores the most awful overhead kick I've ever seen. And just watching it slowly trickle through our entire defence into the bottom corner is soul destroying, absolutely soul destroying. And it's once again, I think that puts us, if I'm not wrong, I think that puts us to the top of the table for points dropped from winning positions, which is, it's a real fucking shit stat to have. And we've seen it too many times this season. Take a lead. You've got to be able to take a lead and see a game out. Or you've got to be able to be more clinical and go on and pressure teams to get that second, the third, you know, kill a game off. We saw it at Everton. It was what was so pleasing about the Everton game. And I don't want to heap too much on this, but Tottenham, three defeats in a row, they're always due one. They're always due something to go their way. But we should have, with the chances we had, we should have capitalised on this tonight. And that should have been 3 points walked away with. And it does feel a little demoralising. And I know the best thing, if you can't win a game, don't lose it. You know, a point is a point. At the end of the day, it's better to take a draw than a loss. But I really feel like Tottenham didn't offer that much until that final 15 minutes. Final 15 minutes, they, you know. But once again, we've been the masters of our own destiny. We let them back into the game. We sat back. We didn't cut off the passing lines. We didn't open up the play. I was really hoping when Alanga and Gordon came on, sit them both high and just bang that ball down the line. Tottenham's defence sit so high up. When you win that ball back, you need someone just on the shoulder ready to run in behind. And that is, in a nutshell, what an Eddie Howe team is so good at. Is that fast counter, that fast break. And I felt like we had a few decisions not go our way when it comes to free kicks and cards and fouls. But that's part and parcel of every game. And if I'm honest, if you don't take your chances, you always leave yourselves open to not deserving to win the game. And I kind of feel this was one that is just, this is hard luck. This is a learning curve. This is these players should know this, but this is the learning curve of if you do not finish teams off in the Premier League, they will come back and haunt you. Prime example of fucking Man City being 5-1 up and Fulham bringing it back to 5-4. Yeah, totally deflating. Absolutely deflating. But we have to look to the weekend. We have to look to onward and upward, and we need to get, I think it's Burnley next, we need to get points. We need to pick up points now. This is a key point in the season where we need to get a run going. The only positive I can take from what's come out in the media in the last 24 hours is the Johan Wissa is not going to be called up to the Democratic Republic of Congo for AFCON. And by all accounts, the rumours are, or the word on the grapevine, is that he is looking sharp as hell in training. And I thought this was going to be the case, that he would be out until basically confirmation of AFCON, and then he'll be straight in and offering us something, I would imagine, from the bench to start with. But tough one. Really tough one tonight, Geordies. I would say if you like the content, but what's to like about this evening? Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Please sub. Hopefully there'll be more good news in the next few weeks, as we got to look to build a run. I think the key things are there, the positives. If you take the positives from this game, the link-up play was good, the passing was good, that we were progressive, we high-pressed well, we won balls back in the final third. We just can't afford to give up cheap goals, and I feel like just 2 really cheap goals tonight. And they're the ones that come the end of the season, they're the goals that will probably see us sat in 7th, 8th or 9th, because we couldn't finish our dinner. We couldn't take those vital points that we needed to. So hopefully we look to the weekend, build on this. A draw's better than a loss. And hopefully I will see you in the next one.